tried to contact him by radio, but no response.
How can I beat that?
Yes. Floor's up. Welcome in, everybody. For your anniversary edition, we don't have enough money to drop confetti on all of us, but we're here live and in living color. Back at it 4 years down, hopefully 40 more to go.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to be around 40.
I won't either.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Got 2 minutes up there.
Yeah, not much at all.
Donald, before you get started, I just want to say, Chris, job well done chopping up the intro. I will say, maybe add a little bit of length to the "that's what they said" bit, and include that as clip of the week, so we can get some embarrassing moments out there of the show for the last 4 years.
It hit me after Jason did his blow up. Don was like, "We need to do something with that." I was like, "Oh, okay." Do something with that.
All right, so welcome everybody, 4th anniversary edition of the Dumb Marks Podcast, episode 204. Back with the best wrestling podcast in the land. I'm your host this week, the part-time wrestling fan, the wrestling fan that hates all wrestling, and even more this week than ever.
Doesn't make sense.
Fellas, how are you guys doing today?
Grievance. Why did
Okay.
no one say wear a shirt?
I didn't know either. I woke up this morning was like, "Yay, this is it."
Why would you not wear a shirt? It's the 4-year anniversary. You are on a white woman's shirt streak. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. You are on a
But
white
you do
woman's
have it in the
shirt.
background. You do
This
have
just
it.
happened, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't plan this.
No, we didn't play
Apparently, I
this
wasn't
at
there
all.
to text you.
no, it was not.
No, we did
Bring
not
back all
plan
the
this.
old school stuff.
Yeah. I got the old school background on. Chris and I both got the shirts. Donald got the long sleeve dip on. Jason got his in the background. So yeah, at least we're coming in, we're on the same wavelength. We're doing what we normally do. Jason being off by himself as usual.
If you didn't wear the white woman shirt today, then it would have broken the streak, and we didn't need that. So
Yeah, we don't need a Lesnar over Taker WrestleMania moment breaking the streak just because it's our anniversary show.
how many weeks are we on now with the shirts, by the way?
I lost count, honestly. We'd have to go back. I think you're on like 7 or 8, maybe. I think.
And I'm missing
This might be like the end of the year graphic, like a picture of Jason from every week with his white woman shirts.
That'll be our Dumb Marks calendar. We'll just put out 12 pictures of Jason in white women shirts, one for each month.
And you use that clip on Tinder next. This is what I like, ladies. This is what I like.
Stop typecasting me.
You typecasted yourself. Don't even go there. You
I'm
typecasted
not
yourself.
that guy.
Sell that calendar on Temu and Wish for $4.99.
Oh boy. So
All
yeah, this is
proceeds go to benefit the Dumb Marks podcast.
this is our anniversary show. Go run like a normal show, but we got some special stuff today. For intro topic, I gave the guys some homework to do, and we will get with that. And also, I have some Dumb Marks trivia. I have 4 questions. I will sprinkle in the show for the viewers to see if you've been truly watching. So we can't answer it. Just the viewers can answer.
Just for the viewers.
Yes, this is just for the viewers. Mm-hmm.
Audience engagement on the anniversary part. I like it. Donald came ready to present today. He's on his piece.
So I will give the viewers a hint. One of the questions is in one of our boxes right now. So I'll let you know that and think it over.
There we go. There's the annual AEW hater. Newly minted in the 40-40 club. Squeeze. I got it. What up, Squeeze?
Feeling old now, man?
No, never. Squeeze is young at heart. That man's gonna die a 21-year-old. He's not gonna age at all. He's not gonna age at all.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
yeah. Wait till you're about 2 weeks in and you wake up and that back and them knees start crackling even harder than they did before.
Dude, it hit me day one of it.
Well, it hit me earlier before that. So
I see my man was out there doing young man shit. I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah. Out there hitting the pavement hard on that 40th birthday. All right, so let's get into the little intro topic. Guys, I gave you homework since it's our 4-year anniversary. I said to make a faction using the 4 of us, a name for our faction, and the roles we will play in.
Yo, I completely read that text wrong. I thought you meant pick a wrestling faction and implement us in that wrestling faction, not a creative faction.
Yeah.
With the name. Yeah,
I thought this was going to be at the end of the show.
I can so you can think about it during the show.
I need Homer to think about this.
First thing, like,
To work out the answers real quick.
So
Taquan Donald had to pull out the Adabisi look from Oz this day. He
Just
just
a little
got to
Oz.
pull it up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Cock hat over
off to the side of the
Oz.
head.
Yeah. Great show, by the way. Oz's classic show.
Yes, it is.
I'm
Classic
wondering if
show.
we'll see a resurgence of the red glasses today.
Hmm.
Something he Donald up enough for that.
The show's not over with yet, so
Hey, at least he didn't come in with his Hulk Hogan belay on.
Halloween's in a couple weeks.
True. Very true.
all right. So who would like to kick off the homework assignment?
I guess I got to go first.
Yeah, go ahead. 'Cause I read that wrong.
Look, I would have went first. If you want to, I'll go.
Name would be the Quad Alliance. 4.
Oh, you're working for WWE Creative. Collective. He's on some bullshit. With that.
we'll be on a podcast tearing that name apart.
Donald would be the manager as the mastermind, pulling all the strings, taking care of all business. And me, Jason, Steve, we would be the trios group in either AEW or Ring of Honor, because that's just an easy. We're 40, and that's an easy division to dominate.
I like the logic. I like the logic behind it. You know, we
Damn,
put in a resume in WWE before and moved over. That's why.
I don't even get into the ring. Damn.
we can do the Freebird rule with that.
He strictly put you at Stokely Hathaway.
Yes.
Said no bumps for you.
I thought about saying no bumps for me at one point.
Well, I figured you put that in Jason's role because that man's the laziest one on the show. So, but he can't really be on the mic talking all like that. You
I
know,
was like, you know what? We're all 40. We don't trios. We all don't need to be, singles run. We don't need to be doing tag team equal footing. Like, we each get a third of the match.
we'll just cut off the ring, and each of us we'll do the tag in and out spot in the corner, but instead of we'll just each deliver one kick and tag in and out.
Works for me.
All right, I'll go since the other two are not ready. Our faction name will be Zebra, as you can see.
That's even worse than WWE Creative below you.
Makes sense, though.
It will be that. Jason and Steve will be top spot guys. One will run one show, one will run the other show. We're not just doing a split faction on one show. No, we're taking over everything. So Jason got one, Steve got the other. Chris, you are in my role in yours. You are the manager. You are the businessman. You are Paul Heyman. And me, myself, I am the jobber. I just go out there. I take the bumps for everybody. If somebody tried to get speared, I'll push them out the way. I'm just the
Hey,
guy.
Taquan,
The coffee.
get your valet.
Like this, always.
And I'm just the man who's just taking the bumps for everybody. I lose all the matches. I don't care. I'm on TV. I get a payday. I don't have to win the title. I don't have to do anything. That's our faction.
I'm just saying, at one point when we were trying to look at logos, we had that like coffee logo for the breakfast, the brunch bunch. We might have to do something with that from time.
Creamer hold the coffee is crazy, but it definitely fits the show. I can't even top that. Like Taquan got submission of the week already. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Oh man. So like I said, I completely mushed this segment because I read the text wrong. I thought it would just replace us with a wrestling faction throughout history and give the roles that way. So I was like, oh, that's easy. We'll put us in the bloodline. I'll be the tribal chief, right? We'll have Chris down there as Tongaloa, right? Just watching every single thing possible.
Just flailing out there.
Yeah, with the eye patch.
Okay.
Stumbling over his own self, running into the wrong corners, like just have Chris out there stumbling and bumbling, right?
No bumps again.
Donna will be Jacob Fatu because that man's fuse when it's short and it gets lit, he goes 0 to 1,000. So we want that fuse to go. And then Jason's Tama Tonga, where he just sits there with a mean face and throws a punch or two. Yeah. Growls and grunts. That's it.
Like Grizzly Young Vets, grit them teeth.
Yeah. No, if I had to create a faction for us, I'll call us Shades of Grey. Again, to filter in on the
Like that.
I like
How many shades of gray?
SOG will be on the shirt. We'll come out there. I'll have Donald and Jason as my tag team. They'll be known as half and half. To play off the Creamer bit,
Land of Lake.
Yeah. We know
Jason's like, why did I get up for this today?
Black here taking shots.
Chris would be my television champ, although he would only defend it at house shows. Would never defend it on TV. Only defend it at house shows.
How about on Twitter? Can I just defend it on Twitter?
And then I would be the speed champ because 3 minutes or less, a minute out. That's how we do it. I'm not afraid to make fun of myself. So, here you go. Shades of Grey.
Did Mrs. Double S already give you that moniker?
What? Probably. Can't always go out and deliver an Iron Man match. Sometimes you gotta go out and you gotta have a speed match or two. It's just the way it happens.
See, I just saw it said put us in the faction. I didn't know it was like I misread the text too. So the
You
name
didn't
would be
even
the
read
mark.
the text. Like to misread it, you just saw the headline. You one of those that just reads the headline in the news and moves on to the next article.
Said put 4 of us in the faction. I'm like, okay, cool. That was it.
Where are we going?
We'll be the marks. Simple as that.
Be the what?
I have the marks.
This dude, he loves cheating on homework. Like it's amazing.
So
He just chopped off dumb. He just chopped off dumb. The mark.
Steve and Chris are a tag team, but Steve can't talk. You won't realize that till he goes solo. That's when you'll shine, Steve.
Natural
breakup.
Disasters 2.0 over here. Huh?
Not on the breakup.
Got on the breakup.
Am I going through the barbershop window?
Go to the window.
Dawn is our champ on both brands, and I am the guy that gets replaced in the vignette package.
Mark Jindrak over here.
I'm the Mark Jindrak.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Love that.
There you go. So
Not bad.
that's the Dumb Marks factions for you. All right. So we got a good show today. We have our typical Mount Rushmores and mushes. As I said before, the trivia for the viewers in between. We also have a debate this, and we have all out predictions, right?
We do.
Jam packed.
Yes, we do. All right.
I cannot wait. After All Out tonight, we have like a month with no pay-per-views. It's gonna be so nice the next couple weekends.
Still got Raw tomorrow though. So or on Monday. You get a little
week.
get a little break.
All right. So the first trivia question for the viewers is about the show. Who were the first two original cast members who created the Dumb Marks? And I will give you the answer in the middle of our Mount Rushmores. So, Chris, let's hit bell to bell.
All right.
Oh, we're going old school with it. Old school with the new logo. Love it. Bell to bell. We might have to bring that back.
I used to do my snack break.
Now you just incorporate it wherever.
All
Hey,
right.
Taquan, if you're not going to play along with the trivia today, man, like, let's go. Have some fun with it, bro. It's an anniversary show. We don't need to be all angry all the time. Like, you need to go see counseling. You're angry 24/7. Go talk to somebody. Who hurt you growing up? Yeah, like go down. You live in Florida. There is somebody on every corner in Florida that you can talk to. They may be crazy, as crazy as you, or crazier, but you got somebody to talk to about your issues and problems on there. And I understand living in Florida may make you that angry all the time because it's just humid as hell, and you have oranges, and that's Florida, like with swamps and gators. Like
Oranges and palm trees.
sucks. I get it.
Damn, first session intervention all in one.
There goes our Florida audience.
All right, Mount Rushmore, guys. Who would like to start?
I'll give mine during All Out predictions.
Okay.
I'll go. I didn't have much this week, so mine just comes from SmackDown.
Hey, that's all of us on the weight loss goal right now. We'll hit that 205 live.
Two of us are already there. The other two are working on it.
Mine goes to Bailey and Tiffany Stratton, just for the match they put on. I want to see them go a couple more times. That was good. It's good to...
Taquan, it's in the mail. I got the notification this week, so let me know when you get it. Okay. If not, I'll go back in and order you a second one. Okay. All right. You know, you do a Luigi Primo gimmick all year long last year to get the shirt. I'm not sending you the shirt gimmick all year long, and you're pressing me. You got to play into the gimmicks, Jagoff. You guys ruining the bit. You're going to get your shirt, man. I'm playing it. I'm doing a show here. I'm trying to come up with gimmicks.
You just broke kayfabe.
That's a...
hot. Jeez, oh man. Buy merch and we won't be broke. How about that? You think you know somebody. I thought Taquan was a good, listener and this and that. The gimmick's not drawing. That's supposed to draw. I'm a heel. The whole point of the gimmick. Jay, Mount Rushmore. My blood pressure rising.
I just went with Bailey and Tiffany Stratton. It's good to see her in the ring with a vet and seeing she can hang. It was a good match. I'm just waiting to see where she goes from here. She has a high ceiling.
And we're taking the time with the Money in the Bank right now, too, which is great.
Which you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does Nia getting involved last night do anything, like good or bad? Would you prefer her not to be there for the match? I get why they had her out there because you're continuing the gimmick, as Taquan says.
I get it because it went with the story.
Yeah.
And then she backstage, she dropped the hint that it was coming. So wasn't no surprise.
Yeah.
But if you give me those two on pay-per-view, I'd be for it. Bailey and Tiffany Stratton.
Not mad at that.
No.
Chris, I may steal your thunder here. I had two options. I didn't find a whole lot, exciting this week as far as Mount Rushmore's. I didn't watch the pay-per-view last weekend. I was at a wedding. So oh no, hell no. I didn't watch the pay-per-view last weekend, so I didn't see any of the matches. I was at a wedding. So I can't really comment as far as that goes.
You didn't miss a whole lot, really.
Well, I mean, apparently Swerve Danielson was an instant classic.
Oh, you mean 2 weeks ago?
Or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sorry. What was last week?
Bash in Berlin
Yeah,
and NXT.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Bash, yeah. I missed Bash because of being at a wedding. But I'll go Swerve and Hangman.
Okay.
Closing angle on Dynamite. Feud itself. They've done this feud for a year now. I'm frozen. I don't know if you
can still hear you.
You can still hear you.
They've done this feud for a year now. I believe either yesterday or the day before was 1 year from the first promo between those two. And it hasn't missed a beat. It feels it's a throwback to a true blood feud.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is Dusty and the Horsemen back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
This is Magnum TA and the Horsemen back in the day. All those classic blood feuds that ended in a stipulation match that requires a stipulation, not Tony Khan just adding stipulations on the stipulated matches, which he did again this week. But Swerve and Hangman, and then my 1B would have been Julia showing up in NXT. Just for the sheer presence of her being there.
Yeah, that was my one.
Mm-hmm.
Julia showing up at NXT. Yeah, just ready for all of that. And another fine specimen to look at on NXT. So thank you, Sean. Bringing that.
I will say this though. Chelsea Green stole that segment on Tuesday, which Chelsea Green always does.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that was the best person to put out there because all the focus was on her, which she maximizes 30 seconds of TV time or 10 minutes of TV time. Like she is, when she gets a true push, I don't know when that will be, hopefully sooner rather than later. It's going to be must-see TV because she's tremendous, period.
So Julie got the full WWE makeover. Y'all for it?
I don't know. I saw the internet go into burning up in flames like Swerve's house over the apparent miss knee that she hit on Chelsea, and they're like, "Oh, hey, WWE ruined her already. Look at it. She can't even throw a knee. You wasted all this money on her. She's not even good. Look at her." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
I know who she is, but I didn't really watch her before, so I don't know like what.
She's top tier. She's top.
She always had the box braids.
Okay.
It just came with the full WWE blowout.
I think the box braids and like gimmick wise and everything, I think it'll come back around. I don't think
maybe big fight.
Yeah, I don't think they'll strip her completely of who she is. And I don't particularly see her being there that long. But you never know.
Yeah.
So I stole Chris's and Donald's thunder with those.
Yeah. my 1B from Rushmore was the MXM collection on Rampage when they was asking the judges to grade their moves. Judge that, and they throw up the signs. Entertainment had me dying the whole time watching it.
The AEW stands hate that.
I could not stop laughing. I loved it
because they're not just pro wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, you don't need just
No, it's a variety show.
you don't need 13 segments of people just chain wrestling and wrestling for 5 stars.
Look, I love the Outrunners at Turbo Floyd. Like
They got their first win. I was gonna put them on my Mount Rushmore because they got their first win last night in AEW.
Not a fan of them at all.
no,
That was great. And then it got ruined by Moxley.
Oh yeah, 100% 80s gimmick.
Yeah,
Jobbers stamp it.
Hey,
Yeah,
you can make a lot of money doing that. See Brooklyn Brawler.
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah. As long as you're talented, you can make as much money as you want anywhere.
Yeah, but them doing that with the judging and that stuff, it was on cue. It had me dying. I loved it. I did.
There's a lot of wrestling last night.
Yeah, man. Between high school football locally, we won't talk about the ass whooping that Woodland Hills got, but Central paid us back for that 2002 Whitfield Championship game. I'll tell you that last night. You had what? You had 3 hours from AEW, 2 hours from SmackDown.
Yep.
Like, dude.
And then if you watch the countdown show for AEW, 3.5 total.
Yeah,
there's too much on. NFL game on last night too, so it was like
that was a lot.
Yeah, I needed like 8 televisions last night just to watch stuff. I was, flipping back and forth, keeping up on my phone, doing everything, and I'm like, I'm wasting energy just trying to watch something. So finally, I was like, screw it all, and I just settled on the NFL game because I was like wrestling out.
That's when YouTube TV needs to let you pick your 4 things to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my quadrants would have been NFL, the high school game, SmackDown, and AEW in those 4 quadrants for sure.
Oh, sorry. All right, so those were our Mount Rushmores, and the answer to the trivia: who were the 2 original hosts of the Dumb Marks podcast? It was Chris and Steve. Mm-hmm.
I was.
So thank you for everybody for participating on that. Yeah, we got some great answers there on the side. Fucking assholes.
See, Taquan, you're getting the host heated now. Donald breaks out them red shades.
All right. Now for the second trivia question. What is the name of our defunct late night show? What was the name of our defunct late night show?
None's defunct.
But I had to put something on it, do something with it. And you will get the answer after our mushes.
It can always be brushed off and repackaged.
Yeah, we can bring it back, but I will say there's certain shows out there that are doing this that did it after we did it. So everything from wrestling stolen. Well, everything in podcasting is stolen because that was, that was
main event. You can just bring it on back.
I was gonna say, they're bringing back Saturday Night's Main Event in December. So,
all right, our bushes. Who wants to go?
I'll kick us off. I got a 1A and a 1B. 1A, my mush for the week is this stupid ass bracelet. Again, they match ended Saturday. They continued the story of the bracelet on Monday Night Raw. It was stupid, but I really got to give to CM Punk with it because Drew pulled the bracelet out of his trunks at Bash in Berlin, and then he put it on and he kissed it. I was like, I don't know if that's how you catch COVID, but you're gonna catch something that way. I was glad when he broke the bracelet, but I know the story's not over. They'll probably bring out the person that made it, and they'll make him a new one, and we'll continue this stupid ass shit week in and week out for the foreseeable future.
Punk posted on Instagram. Don't worry, we destroyed a fake and showed a picture of him with the actual bracelet on. So you want to talk about kayfabe being dead?
Come on, man, don't kill.
I'm over this
we'll
bracelet.
continue this shit. Yeah,
yeah.
Like.
Somebody compared that to Swerve's house.
There's only 2 stars on this bracelet. There's supposed to be 4. And my 1B was the no-sell finish between the triple threat match between Ilya and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee was hitting everything at the end there, and then just Ilya just gave it the out of nowhere and won the match. Just we're no selling all that. That was like 5 minutes at the end of Dragon Lee just whooping his ass and nothing.
Was that even his finisher?
No,
He's hitting like a shoulder and like that's it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't the H bomb that he normally throws. Yeah, I don't.
Jason?
Mine goes to Trick Williams this week for writing a diss song. Like, what are we doing here? If we come this far, man, you're dropping so fast. Like, 2 more steps, you'll be cracking jokes and you'll be new to our truth. Like,
guess what's coming back? Yeah, we're doing all this in like mid '90s stuff. Trick Williams bring back Men on a Mission.
Somebody screen grab that.
Like this man started the year off hot, and now he's just. I'm ready to move on to something else.
I mean, between the diss track and then him hitting the Joe Hendry turn and pose at the end in the referee show was kind of trash too. Like,
Oh
Are you supposed to climb back out of that to be the face again? Nah.
man, how the mighty have fallen, boy.
and why? So the referee spot made no sense.
It didn't.
No.
Like, if you're gonna do that to make Trick be the standout of that match, then why are you having the match between Ethan and Joe in the first place? Like,
Very true, Taco.
Can't argue with that one at all.
He's gonna block you on Twitch too.
yeah, I just don't, And then having Pete Dunne in 17 feuds between 2 shows makes no sense either.
Yeah, no.
That man's getting work. Ton of work. Oh, Steve?
Hulk Hogan. Hands down. Hogan on Impulsive. This man, when you think he just can't get any lower, and like, I mean, come on, dude. If the fans can get over what Chris Benoit did, then why can't? What are we talking about? Who?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Who said we got over that?
Mm-hmm.
You can't joke about it. Nobody.
Yeah.
So true, Mars.
I wish I had a soundboard with Keith Sweat because I would just drop line after line of Keith Sweat hitting and nobody just every single because this man is like, yeah, no. And then he's gonna say, "Well, WWE signed me to a 5-year Legends contract, and I'll be happy to come in at WrestleMania and do stuff." Did you really sign a 5-year deal? Because I didn't see no official announcement for that. I saw Jazz's official announcement. I saw Victoria's official announcement. I didn't see nothing for Hogan come across the wire this week.
I think that was his official announcement.
Oh, we got Hogan announcing the official announcement.
My news only comes to me, brother.
I mean,
Hunter and Nick Khan both came to my house.
There was so much just garbage coming. I had creative control, but I never used it. Not once in WCW.
Do we need to go back to watch Dark Side of the Ring, the WCW shit recently? Whenever they talked about using creative control, like him and Bishop, they
who
flip
killed
flop back and forth.
WCW bit by the Rock? Like, I mean, Hogan across the board for me. Like, and there was plenty of bad stuff in wrestling this week to put on that spot for me, but yeah, Hulk Hogan Balea, full government name with wrestling name is on my mouth. My much of the week this week.
I think he's getting baptized again tomorrow after the lies.
Oh, of course. It happens every time. My mush goes to Chase U. Why do Chase U all the time? They get up, They start making a title run. They get the title, and they instantly lose the belt. The next event. We're
What
on
is
it
that?
for like.
Anybody else hear that?
It sounds like a woodpecker.
Yeah, what is
Mhm.
that?
Is that your
Jason,
fan?
you ain't got trees in your neck of the woods. You know, you got concrete jungle over there by you. So
Come
I
on,
don't know.
man. Disparaging my
fan?
my
No,
country.
that's
Hey, community.
That's great background fodder.
But yeah, Chase you. I mean, how many times are we going to do this same game over and over?
Still there.
Not for me.
Hey, go back to Jason. This is great podcasting. Nope, still there. I don't know what it is.
It ain't the hood. The hood
It
loves
must be something on Restream.
I don't
Is that
hear
a
anything.
raptor? Is that a raptor?
Yeah, Mars. I don't know. It's a hell of a run-in. That's a hell of a run-in on an anniversary show. We just got teasing in the background. Yo, the Chase U stuff, Donald, like you said, they win the belts, and then a week later you have them drop it again.
Mhm.
So the tag team titles mean nothing.
Yeah.
Chase U means nothing.
How many times Andre?
Rich Holland turning on Chase U means nothing.
Nothing.
Even though Thea Hell sold the shit out of it. Like,
Mhm.
you completely ruined everybody in a week's span of time.
And
how
all
many-
you do is give Axiom and Frazier another title run.
Yeah.
So why'd you take the belts off them to begin with?
They're always teasing the
Exactly.
breakup. Like, stop teasing the breakup. If they're gonna be your tag champs, run with it.
Mhm.
Let
How
it
many
be.
times is it that they've tried to tease the breakup?
You want to
Every
talk about
match.
the stat padding? These dudes are just dropping belts and winning belts back
Yeah.
just to pad numbers. They're like Angel Reese grabbing rebounds. She's just throwing up bricks to get more rebounds.
Say
And
that.
then how many times is Andre Chase gonna be taken out? I swear this is like 5 times already. It's just like
Man needs a break from carrying this show.
I'm
like
cool with Thea
Chase-
Hale.
and Thea is the only shining star out of that whole faction group, whatever.
No, I think Riley Osborne could be
Riley,
that Evan Bourne guy.
He's good.
I see a Matt Sydal running him.
Rich has potential. I don't know how much, but
No, he don't. Nah, his time's over.
I didn't mind his reasoning, his promo he cut. It was good, but it's like you're giving us the same thing over and over again.
It's
What
just
happened to
it's just insert different heel. That's all what it was.
what happened to the 6 months if you don't work on NXT, you're out? You know, it's like
I mean, you don't put them in that. You don't put Ridge in that category.
Why
He's
not?
working on it. Yeah.
It's just like, come on.
It's
Like it was like it was Ridge this time. It was JC the last time. It was Tony. Yeah, it was D'Angelo the time before. It was like, come on now.
Start running the same angle.
Mm-hmm.
it's just I don't know. For me, like I know the fans love the Chase U section, all that kind of stuff, but Chase U just doesn't do anything for me anymore.
No.
You can use him to debut people. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them
Start
in
them
and
off
then-
into university.
It's you, and then
Build them up. Yeah, I never even thought of that. That's a good idea to do. So Chase U, my mush this week over everything. Yeah, and there was a lot of bad.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bad. So so that was our mushes. All right, and we are going to give the answer for the last trivia question. So it was, what was the name of our defunct late night show? And Steve has the shirt on right now. The Dumb-Marks After Dark. Hopefully we're planning to do something more with it.
Coming back next week.
You say that, I would actually like to see that now. Just because he's shown he has comedy chops.
If he's
Hey,
gonna
did anybody see the match graphic for All Out for Okada?
Mm-mm.
no, let's see.
It was Okada. He's in the 4-way title match, right? Okada, and then it's the 3 silhouettes, and underneath each silhouette it says "bitch, bitch, bitch."
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Okada and JC would have been hilarious if he's doing his bit that he's doing with the Elite now. Mhm. All right, so Chris, should we get into some predictions?
Let's do it. So we got 9 matches total right now, 1 for 0 hour and 8 on the card. So a little bit less than All In, thankfully. So we'll kick off 0 hour. We got a trios match. The Undisputed Kingdom, Mortos and Shane Taylor Promotions versus, as Donald has dubbed them, Southwest Airlines.
Southwest Airlines.
He texted me I think it was last week or right before All In. He was just like, I stopped watching Collision whenever Southwest Airlines got on my screen.
I don't even care. Like,
I'm gonna give it to Southwest. Just because it catches so much hate, like I think they'll give him a win. I think just because they'll give him a win, because he's actually gonna be undisputed with Undisputed Kingdom. But
They finally going to perfect. I mean, they're finally going to perfect their landing, huh?
No bumpy landings today.
Yeah, no crash and burn.
I'm right there with you, Jason. I got Southwest.
wait, isn't it? I thought Mortos replaced Wardlow in the Kingdom. Why is he with Shane Taylor Promotions in this match? Did I miss something? Was there like a beatdown or a breakup or a split off that I didn't see? Because he's been with Undisputed Kingdom. He was with Undisputed Kingdom that entire Texas residency they had. Why is he with Shane Taylor Promotions all of a sudden?
Now he's going to be on the pay-per-view for the turn.
It's TK.
He gave the turn away.
See, like, this is the shit right here that pisses me off as a wrestling fan trying to buy into AEW.
You don't get to turn on the pre-show.
Exactly. When the man booking the show don't give a fuck, Taquan, why should I? I'm not picking this match. I'm not. Just for that match layout alone, I'm not picking. So put me no decision, no choice, whatever. I'm not picking.
I will pick my match and then I will read off the next trivia. Forgot to do it before the thing. Southwest Airlines is winning. So finally show us some of that potential, that unlimited potential. And the next trivia question is, other than Drink of the Week and One Gotta Go, what was our other live segment that we did on the old format?
Oh, I think about that. Got it. Okay.
And you will get the answer after the predictions.
So had me thinking there for a second.
I knew the answer instantly. So Southwest Airlines is on their ascent to the 30,000 foot brass ring. Yeah. Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing.
They're not catching that brass ring.
Full throttle ahead.
I mean, if we can consider the brass ring the trios championships, yeah, they'll get the brass ring.
Yeah, you might as well make it a Starlink wireless satellite up there. That just made me not. Oh my! All right,
all right. On to the main card. There's a lot of title fights tonight, but we'll start off with some of the non-title fights. MJF and Daniel Garcia.
MJF. Is it for the? Oh no.
This is for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is for nothing. Just a match.
This is personal. This is personal. It's not for nothing. It's personal. Wednesday night made it personal. MJF got hair transplants in Turkey, and Daniel Garcia's mom is a tramp, allegedly. So
and I even saw Meltzer talk bad about Wednesday night. I was just like, can Meltzer really talk bad about AEW or MJF?
I tweeted this out at the beginning of the show on Wednesday. Like, shock and awe for shock and awe purposes is not good shock and awe.
No.
When
you're shock and awe about it.
the whole your mother's a tramp and like trying to get the cheap pops and make something like you didn't have to go that route to tell this story to make it a personal beef as to why they're fighting, like, and the whole we're gonna break each other's necks and Christopher Daniels talking about these guys can't, you don't know what it's like having a broken neck, and it's like nobody cares. Nobody cares. This is why when you run 3 pay-per-views in a span of 3.5 weeks, your shows suck. That was the worst go-home show ever. I could have put AEW on my mush of the week.
Yeah.
But is it really a go-home show when they have Collision right after? You know, like
Collision wasn't much of a go-home show either.
No, that was like whenever WWE treats SmackDown as the pre-show to the pre-show. And so, like, that's how Collision felt to me. Like this is 0 hour more than it's Collision and Rampage.
Did you need to add anything extra to this match? You already had story.
Right, you had story coming out of had story coming out of London. You didn't,
and it was what, like a 20-minute promo on Wednesday night.
So
did we need this long of a promo?
Like, it was too long. Too long. I cut it off.
17 minutes long.
Okay.
I cut it off. I didn't even care what they said. Once it got to a point, I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this."
Do I think it's going to be a good match? Yeah, but did the build up on Wednesday do anything for the match? No.
And then you didn't even do the ending to the segment right. You had Garcia break through all the security, only to get his head bashed in and opened by a wine bottle, for MJF to lick his blood. Again, shock and awe, because he put his fingers in his mouth. Pause. MJF is in an all-white suit, drinking wine, red wine. Why would you not have Daniel Garcia break through all those security guards and have the wine go all over MJF's suit? Like, have your quote-unquote babyface get a leg up on the hill that just talked about his mother being a tramp and sleeping with everybody in their town. Instead, you have the babyface run through 10 guys like you Super Mario, getting all the way to the end for King Koopa just to blow him up in flames.
To say that he beat the odds and wins tonight. And I don't even think that's happening.
No, that's not happening. No,
Yeah.
MJF don't lose 2 pay-per-views in a row.
I would have.
Do you get a title match? Or if you win, do you get a title match?
I would have Garcia win.
Everybody else gets a title match now. Why not?
I mean, is it the eliminator or a contendership match?
That's the other mush I could have put on from Wednesday night. Fucking Kyle Fletcher. You guys are fucking burying him. He loses every big match he's in. He just lost last week, and all of a sudden he has a title match for Okada's Intercontinental title.
But he
or
looks
Continental title. Why?
He looks good doing it. I don't know.
A man can only lose so many big time matches before we don't care. See, a la Lance Archer.
Jey Uso.
I'll bring it up now. You know, I could bring it up a little bit later, but I'll bring it up now. Wednesday night, you had the Virtuosa cut a promo how she's trying to, get back on track, and then you have her fight Sheeta the night before Sheeta gets a title match.
Only to lose.
Yeah, just like whenever they announced that match, I was like, why?
You got a reset promo for Deonna, which after she lost the last match to Thunder is fine. What you're supposed to do.
The promo was good.
Promo's good. But then you immediately have her turn around and
lose. Yeah.
Like it made no sense. Like as soon as they booked the match, I was like, well, I know Sheeta ain't losing, so why'd we even have Deonna cut that promo?
Yeah, you save that for next week.
It would have made more sense.
Yes.
Like I came back, I lost. It's time to hit the reset button.
I'll go with Garcia. MJF don't need a win here.
I want Garcia to win, but MJF is going to win.
Same thing. I want Garcia to win, but I got to go MJF. I just think he'll win.
Garcia, MJF.
All right, moving on. Chicago Street Fight. Willow versus Chris Statlander. And originally, weren't they talking about this supposed to be for like the CMLL belt?
It is.
Then,
now
they're not advertising it as a championship match.
Well, Justin Roberts will announce that in the ring announcement probably. TK is still going back and forth on it.
I don't know if maybe CMLL didn't sign off on it, but
I don't know. Look, I mean, these two deserved for what the feud has been, it deserved more of a spotlight on actual Dynamite and not just Rampage and some Collision.
Yeah.
Because it your most interesting women's feud outside of Tony and Mariah were these two.
Yep.
The sit down was good. I like the sit down with Renee. You know, Stanlander did the typical heel conversation stuff. Willow to me is just star that, you know, I believe she's already arrived with the year that she had. Her making it a street fight makes sense based on Willow in those matches.
Yeah.
I'll go with Willow.
Willow.
Since you said he's going to add the belt, that's just making it clear to me. Willow.
Yeah, I gotta go with Willow. Jason, you brought up when we were doing the All In predictions how these street fights are kind of Willow's thing now. Like that's kind of her match. Kind of, I guess, like Cody and Bloodline rules. But yeah, I got to go with Willow on this, especially if it ends up being for the belt. Like I don't see her dropping that. So, all right, Continental Championship: Okada, Briscoe, Orange, and Takeshita.
No, it's Okada versus bitch.
I didn't even know Takeshita was still in AEW.
We just
He
came
took
back.
that break. He took that break during G1.
Yeah.
So.
There's a
The
third
fact-
man in the title.
The fact that, well, no, so like his performance in the G1, like he should be spotlighted, but he shouldn't be spotlighted with a match on Rampage and then thrown into a 4-way.
Yeah.
And again, going back to Okada versus Fletcher, you had that match for Okada to win, only for Takeshita to come down to make the save. It's like you're ruining Kyle Fletcher.
Mm-hmm. And with him too, with Fletcher, every time a hot new free agent comes, guess who they fight?
He'll be on Ring of Honor before 2025 begins.
And aren't Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy in the conglomeration together?
Yep.
Yes, they are.
So
Don't even get me started on that group.
So why are they wrestling?
Because they both qualified for the matches.
Okay, that's great. Well, some qualifications don't mean anything. Yeah, you're gonna have your ROH champion lose. This is ridiculous.
I mean, Okada's retaining.
Yeah.
For sure.
At least not when losing those belts anytime soon.
If you're gonna push Takeshita and have him beat Okada, which is fine, even though the belt means shit. Then if this is the kickoff to an actual feud between those two,
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
but like you shouldn't be starting the feud by having just a random 4-way match as your kickstart to a feud.
Yeah.
It's lazy. That's lazy creative. And the 27 people that are in the creative room with Tony Khan.
And then what's the point of 4-way? It's like if you didn't, you can't say you didn't pin me because you didn't pin Orange either because or the other one's taking the pin. Briscoe's taking the pin then.
You can't have your ROH heavyweight champion.
Orange Cassidy got plot armor.
Orange taking the pin.
He got anime plot armor. He ain't taking no loss.
You can't use that. You didn't pin me. Shit.
So that becomes an eliminator match, and Okada gets a Ring of Honor title shot at the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
And he gets
And
that.
he takes that belt off of Briscoe.
What is this bitch's belt?
I want that one too.
No wonder why All Out went from 20,000 fans 4 years ago to 6,000 fans
Damn.
in Chicago.
Damn.
I mean, they need to start traveling outside of the same cities all the time for these events.
But that just goes to show you how much the fan base is tiring.
But he also went from
market.
four events a year to now one a month too.
Yeah.
So instead of making them special, having one a quarter.
Wrestling fans are getting wrestling fatigue.
Who you
That's
got on that?
Chicago
Did you give your
fans.
prediction, Steve?
It's the Chicago fans revolting against CM Punk being fired.
I think he said. I think everybody picked Okada.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. TBS Championship, Mercedes versus Sheeta. And I think we all know this one too.
Yeah.
Getting your hot shot in a feud for no reason. You're leaving so much money on the table.
Having Mercedes get a win 2 weeks after she just defended the title against one of your hottest female talents.
Who's
And
had no mention at all.
Yeah, Sheeta shouldn't be treated like this at all.
Yeah.
Get Sheeta out of this picture already. There's only one belt she needs to be fighting for. And that's the women's title.
You heard about all the drama with Britt leading up to the Mercedes match. They have a terrible match. She loses. There's been no reference to Britt Baker at all since she won.
Yeah. Nothing.
Make another comeback. She'll be in Pittsburgh. That'll be the next comeback.
That'll probably be her return, yeah.
I like the hyphen over the Ed. Hogan.
And Mercedes already beat Sheeta once. You're going to have Sheeta lose to her again?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, at least I'll give them for bringing up the potential story here of Sheeta being the first one to hold both the TBS and the Women's Championship if she wins, but she ain't winning.
You know, I know Camille got banned from ringside, which kind of sets up for me Camille coming in and interfering and costing Sheeta to lead to hopefully her and Camille and Sheeta into a feud, which I'm fine with. But you can't have Sheeta lose clean twice in a row to Mercedes. Like, this is not, like, what are we doing?
I was even wondering last night, are we going to see somebody new debuting in? And that person helping Mercedes out.
Who else can come in?
I don't have any specific people, but just something that kind of came to mind.
I mean, Megan Bain's been sitting on your bench forever and a day, and you haven't used her since she left Japan in February. She's only tearing it up on indie matches. Like, why would you not put that woman on your show?
I'm going Mercedes. Camille come down. They beat Sheeta up after the match, and then since Halloween's around the board, Abaddon come out and help Sheeta.
She only wrestles on Halloween, not come around.
Is it too early?
Halloween falls on a Thursday this year. Are we doing a special Dynamite episode on a Thursday?
It's a special Abaddon match.
Or did she just wrestle on TNA that day? Hey, Mercedes is winning.
Yeah.
Everybody go.
Mm-hmm.
Tag Team Championship. Young Bucks versus BCC, Claudio, and Wheeler.
Again, you just set this up at the end of the show Wednesday. There's no reason for me to care about this match.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Bucks aren't losing.
Why are you putting your trios tag champs in a match with the? You just taking the pin.
There's over everything.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. All right, up next. International Championship. Ospreay versus Pac.
This is a match that this is probably the only match on the card that I actually care about based on what they've done.
Another one.
Another one.
Well, I mean, Swerve Hangman, yeah. But this is like, you know, the Poison Rana on the stage when Ospreay came out to confront Ricochet, and then them two beating the holy hell out of each other backstage, and Pac dropping him on his neck on top of those fucking carts. That hurt Pac just as much as it did Ospreay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those things have no give to them at all.
But the thing is that you're doing all this for Pac, who's the other part of the trio's champion, to lose.
It makes no sense.
No sense.
Nothing makes any sense.
They need to space these out because this is too quick of a turnaround to even get you to invest in.
That's what Chris said.
Yeah.
Chris said that from the beginning when they was doing these back-to-backs.
The match will be great, but it's like, where's the
or do
care?
Certain belts on All In and then the other belts on All Out? You know, so you're not having all the champions wrestle again. Just 2 weeks later.
Lord knows you have enough titles to do that,
right? Or we have another brand. Let's put some of those matches on here too. Maybe give Athena a match on an AEW pay-per-view. There's a concept.
I mean, every other ROH champion's represented on this show. Why is not the women's champion? Who's 7 days away from breaking Samoa Joe's record as the longest ROH champion of all time?
Yeah, now that's sniff.
And hasn't been featured on Dynamite, Collision, or Rampage once.
I never heard of her, so I don't know what talking about.
Osprey.
Yeah.
Osprey.
Same, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve is just like,
This card is more predictable than Bash in Berlin.
All right, heading on to the World Championship. Ryan versus Jack Barry.
Danielson.
Yeah.
Danielson.
What are we doing here?
Again,
there's too many title people fighting title people for titles. It's, you got all your champs in the match just to be having a match. Like, you're hurting your status. You're giving a champ a loss.
You know what else was dumb as hell on Wednesday?
Soapbox Steve. Let's get him one.
Why?
You know what grinds my gears?
Yeah. Give him a statement.
Why? Moxley and Marina Shafir get out of a white SUV and destroy all the security people and everything else. Walk up to the Young Bucks and Jack Perry, who's standing looking at a wall for some god awful reason.
Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, only to turn around and act like he's so cool. And turn around and Moxley goes, "You know what, kid? I don't care what anybody else says about you. You're a good egg in my book." He's the fucking scapegoat. Way to ruin the gimmick, you dumbass.
Yeah, he's the you're a sweet kid.
What was the point in that? Only for Moxley to go to ring and call Darby Allin, who's still in a casket.
No, he got out of the casket.
I'm running out of patience. I only have so much time for talk, Darby. This is a warning shot. Jack, you're a sweet kid. Go eat a donut.
I'm here for any Moxley slander, so keep going. I default my time to the representative up in the upper right hand corner.
You wonder, if you look at the they did a 660 rating, right? Or 660 was the viewership on Wednesday.
I don't pay attention to ratings.
At the drops, they started at 810 and immediately crashed. Look what you did. You had MJF Garcia, you had the conglomeration cut a promo, and then you go directly into an Okada Kyle Fletcher match. That's your first 40 minutes of Dynamite. No wonder why your audience left. You gave them no reason to stick around. Only for Moxie to walk up and Jack Perry, you're a sweet kid. Here's my keys. Park my car. What are you doing?
So we're in the Matrix now. Jason's still on screen. He joins in another box down here.
Like, seriously.
Danielson.
Yeah.
Danielson.
I'm definitely not going against my boy on this one, so we'll see if anything actually happens here.
I'm not paying $50 for 2 matches. I'll wait till the pay-per-view ends. Well, I'm not gonna be able to watch it today anyways because I got a surprise party to go to. But yeah, I'll wait.
Didn't just ruin that.
No, I didn't say who it was for, so that could be for anybody that I know. But yeah, I'll go on. I'll fast forward through this entire card. I'll watch Ospreay and Pac, and then I'll watch the next match that we're going to talk about.
Moving on. Lights out steel cage match. Swerve versus Hangman.
I could have put.
Isn't it unsanctioned too?
Yeah, well, that's lights out.
Unsanctioned lights out. This is the stipulation on the stipulation match that I talked about earlier. for wrestling reasons. I don't know.
And as we know, when they do lights out matches, they do the card and then this match happens. So this will be your main event.
Which it should be the main
Yeah,
event.
I agree.
Yeah, it should be. Mm-hmm.
But one of the mushes that I could have put up this week, which also got me pissed off, all you fucking marks on the internet that are running around, oh, it's not the same house. Look at the pillars. Look at the siding. There's no bushes in front. Maybe Hangman was sitting in the backyard.
Maybe you need to delete Twitter.
Yeah, maybe you need to get off Twitter.
No, I'm talking to you. Just delete it off.
Like that's why. Like that's literally why I hate. Like,
Look at the guy said, look at the foundation.
yeah, literally, people were counting the bricks on the pillars and said, nope, only 97 bricks, not 100. Not the same house. They burned the wrong house. Look at AEW watching the ending of their show.
We got
You need continuity.
They were like, we got HGTV specialists out here. They know what foundation being laid at what angle.
Yeah. I didn't know you were executive producing House Hunters. You fucking daggone.
Said the permits was on 75, not 85.
When they showed the video on Dynamite of him at the house, I was like, why are they showing this on here? And then when Hangman didn't come out, I was like, Hangman's doing something at the house. I was like, and then whenever he did that, I was like, this was the perfect response.
As soon as Swerve was at the house, I was like, hey man, gonna burn down this house later.
Yeah, I saw that they released the video on Twitter earlier in the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wrestling reasons. That's getting burnt.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen. So I was expecting it, but it didn't take that my expectation of them doing it didn't take away from the moment of them actually.
Not at all.
No.
Like it was great. It was Heyman actually smiled. He hasn't smiled since Swerve came into his life, and he actually smiled as he was pouring gasoline on the house. That's when you know the man is just off his rocker.
Yeah.
I like how the man searched all over. Said I couldn't find you in Washington.
Yeah.
Couldn't find you. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you were.
Yeah.
You did some hunting, huh? You were doing some traveling.
He was using TK's private jet.
I couldn't find your family and kids because they left you and are no longer in your life. Like, damn, he was out here hunting. But he found the childhood home. Anna and Swerve sold it beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman sitting in the chair, and whoever did the screen grab of Hangman sitting in the chair with the house in flames behind him and put the parental advisory sticker at the bottom of the
album cover. Oh yeah, that was great.
You deserve a raise on internet trolling because
What
that's
was it?
internet.
The album,
right.
the album name was Whose House, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
And shout out to Swerve for releasing a new shirt that says "Whose House in Flames" in the outline of the house up in flames. Like that's great marketing. But yeah, no, we can't have you fucking comparing the houses. Yeah, like that's what people were doing, literally.
It's when you got too much time on your hands.
people have way too much time on their hands.
How did Rhea say? Touch grass.
Yeah, go out and get sunlight. Like, what are you doing to where you're watching? You wouldn't do that in any other TV entertainment.
Forum. Yeah, you would not do that.
I hate watching.
You're not going to watch Sons of Anarchy and go, "Oh, that's not the same bike Jax Teller rides. That's completely different. Look at the number of spokes in the wheels. That's not the same Harley that he's riding."
Or
if it's obvious, I'm that guy. If it's obvious, I'll call that shit out.
Or be like, well, as for you, oh, that's not the official police car, squad car, that stuff. They got
some dead body breathing.
They got these like that way.
Yeah, like you're not doing that on any other show, but just be like, right, that shit irritated me to all hell. Like,
it coming from me, a person who can't stand wrestling right now. Chill out, guys.
Right?
Like, man. Suspend your reality.
So Steve, Steve, you did the rant. Who you got?
I'm counting the 5 right now. I've been hot a lot this show. Taquan got me started. I'm supposed to enjoy this. This is an anniversary show. But between Taquan and AEW, I don't know which is worse.
Taquan probably works for AEW.
I mean, this has been a games of one-upmanship. as far as who can do more to the other person. Like they've stapled mouths shut. They've stapled index cards. They've broken into houses. They've set houses on fire. Like,
Stalking significant others and kids.
yeah, like I'm gonna go with Swerve, and for this reason only. If those people that remember Swerve in Lucha Underground, him and AR Fox had a 3 stages of hell match in Lucha Underground. Probably the best Lucha Underground match that was had in Lucha Underground. And the amount of shit that happened in that match, which would bring into the lights out aspect of this, like I think we're going to see some shit where you're going to cringe and be sick to your stomach from what you see. Not necessarily in a bad way, but like a holy shit, what the fuck did I just witness in a wrestling ring type of way. Not like the John Moxley, Kenny Omega barbed wire mattress that they have built. Like, I think it'll be better than that. I'll go with Swerve to one up Hangman. However, I really want to see Hangman win because I want to see what Hangman the character would do if he actually toppled Swerve. Like, does he come back out with the original cowboy shit gimmick and drinking beer and smiling to the ring with the chaps on and riding horses in the arena because he got that out of his system? Or is he just so far gone that you have no idea what Hangman's going to do?
I think Wednesday night was the origin story for his villain arc. Like, that's what this feud is. And that was the moment he officially turned. So I'm going with Hangman for this, just because he needs the win, especially being the 4th match in and he hasn't won yet.
But he did give good reasoning as to why he's 0-3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
But you got, coming off of Wednesday, I think Swerve has that momentum now, going in, that you can justify why he should win. But I think Hangman wins this and he's full villain from this point on.
Chris, I'm right with you. Hangman for the win. He, like you said, full villain mode, full heel with everything. And when he wins, he's going to have the biggest smile on his face. Like,
That
I did it.
Yeah.
Like, I did it. I finally did it. Something like a Joker smile, like that.
Hangman is on his rise. Swerve's on his fall. Give me Hangman. Hangman needs it.
But sadly, if that's how it goes, then that's 2 in a row for Swerve too. So.
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
Match of the night?
Swerve Hangman.
I'm between that or Ospreay Pac.
I'll go Swerve Hangman. Swerve Hangman, Ospreay Pac's the obvious ones. I think Danielson and Jack Perry may be a sneaky dark horse. If you're putting odds on these matches, betting wise, I may put money on Danielson and Perry just because you get really good odds. But it's hard to knock off when you got.
I mean, Willow and Statlander could even have potential too.
That's the other thing. If you're booking this, you have that street fight knowing that you have a lights out unsanctioned steel cage later. Like, what do you do in the street fight that doesn't give away things that are going to be done in the unsanctioned lights out match?
Yeah.
Like, why would you book those on the same card? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah. It's year 5. They're still learning.
No, these are mistakes that you should have ended after you won.
Oh, I know.
I'll go Hangman and Swerve.
Give me Okada and Takeshita, Cassidy, and
Okada and the 3 bitches.
Yeah. I've been interested to see what Okada and Takeshita can do.
Now, if those 2 were to match by themselves, I'd be picking those 2.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Based off of what Okada did in his G1 run, Which, if nobody's seen that, like, you missed out. My man had slaps after slaps after slaps. Like,
And I'm not gonna slight Kathy in this match because he put on a couple classics when he had the belt. So
All right, so there you go. Those are our predictions for All Out happening tonight. And the answer to trivia question number 3, other than Drink of the Week and One Gotta Go, what was our other live segment we did in the old format? And it was This Week in Sports. Remember that?
now Smash or Trash.
That was a little game in the beginning we did with snacks.
snacks, yeah.
And
yeah,
then, all right, and the final trivia question. What was the name of the podcast where the 4 of us as a team made our special guest debut? I give you a hint. He always commented on the show, and he always had beef with somebody who we know in the show still. And I'll tell you the answer after Debate This.
That's a deep cut. Oh, geez, oh, man.
All right. This is a list that I found on the internet of the top 10 triple threat matches in wrestling history.
So this is why Hogan went off this week. He looked at the same list, didn't he?
He probably did. I don't know. So the ones that I was finding online from somebody, it was all WWE ones, but I wanted to find from every promotion, and this was like one of the few that I found. So we go with number 1, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit, WrestleMania 20. Number 2, Lesnar, Seth Rollins, John Cena at Royal Rumble 2015. Number 3, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, TNA Unbreakable 2005. Terry Funk, Sandman, Steven Richards, Barely Legal, ECW. Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, WrestleMania 17. The Undertaker, Rock, and Kurt Angle at WWE Vengeance 2002. Randy Orton, Batista, Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30. Christopher Daniels, Bryan Danielson, and Low-Key, Ring of Honor, The Era of Honor Begins. Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, WrestleMania 32. And number 10, Prince Devin, Kota Ibushi, and Low-Key at New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom 7.
Thank you. Sorry.
Number 1 isn't my number 1. It's
my
a good
number
match, but that is your number 1?
Yeah, it's my number 1.
Top 5.
That's what the first thing I asked Dawn is like, it's been on the list.
Okay.
Not in the list, it's invalid.
That's my number 1 also.
I got Daniel Styles and Samoa Joe as my number 1.
Okay.
I'd probably be the same, that number 1, and then I think I'd probably put the tag team WrestleMania 17 as my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. This is whenever I hate agreeing with Chris.
I didn't watch TNA back then, so I didn't know about that match. So
we were there for 32. It was a good match, but I don't even know if I'd have that in my top 10.
no, it was a good match, but yeah, not top 10 worthy.
I think it's there because of the era, the women's evolution at that point.
Mm-hmm. The ECW match was very good, but I think the match after made it more valid.
Okay.
And I don't even know if Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky is the best women's one when you had Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda.
Yeah. I'm 35, yeah.
How recent were these lists, do you know?
I do not know. I can find out real quick while y'all debate.
I wasn't watching New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom 7, so I don't think I've watched that match, so I can't comment on that.
Surprised Sheamus, Gunther, and
Drew.
Drew is on those lists. And also Oba, Jensen, and Gotcha.
2022.
2022?
2022.
Okay. So that the match that you mentioned, the Drew match, that was last year, so that's why that would be omitted.
Because that's one I would add on the list.
Okay.
And the honorable mention would be Oba, Drew, Oba, Dijak, and Jensen.
Yeah, the Drew, Sheamus, Gunther one for me would be in my top 5 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would go TNA, Daniel Styles, Joe 1, Edge, Christian, Hardy's, Dudley's 2, Triple H, Shawn Benoit 3, Gunther, Sheamus, Drew 4, and Lesnar, Rollins, Cena 5. That Lesnar, Rollins, Cena one is really, really good.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
agree.
Really good. That match had no being as good as it was. And I remember watching it at the time going, this is
Mm-hmm.
freaking amazing. Like
They balanced each other out perfectly.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm Steve. I'm pretty much right there with you. The only one that I could even change up just for the sake of argument, I might put the Lesnar Cena Rollins before 20, but that would be the only change out of that if I did it.
I mean, that Triple H Shawn Michaels Benoit one gets heralded the most as like the greatest triple threat of all time. I feel like that's WWE bias coming in.
Yeah.
It's definitely top 5.
It just doesn't get put out there because
And Jay, like you brought up with Sheamus, Drew, and Gunther being so new, doesn't have the longevity as far as test of time. But
yeah,
you go back and rewatch that match. That was insane what those three did to each other. Like
big meaty men slapping meat.
it should hold up over time. We'll just have to wait
absolutely.
and see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see if it's that generation's like, because our generation kind of talks about WrestleMania 3 of Savage and Steamboat, for an Intercontinental match. That could easily be this generation's type match for WrestleMania.
Speaking of that, somebody brought this up on Twitter, and I forgot to bookmark it to give them credit, so I do apologize. And I'm not stealing their take by any means; it's my own. But they talked about moments that got you hooked on wrestling, and the moment that got them hooked as a wrestling fan was Stone Cold breaking into Pillman's house and Pillman on the couch with the gun.
Okay.
And they said, for those of you bashing Hangman Swerve, that the house burning segment moment is a moment that can get somebody hooked on wrestling for life. Like that's a generational moment that can absolutely bring somebody into the fold and make them want to watch wrestling on a regular basis now. And I didn't think about it from the actual moment standpoint. We're so tone deaf as far as AEW just creates 5-star matches and they don't create moments. But if you look throughout their 5 years, they do have moments sprinkled in that you can point back to. Go, oh, that's a actual moment.
But yeah, that should be a moment. And they got their 5-year anniversary coming up here. Like that, if they do a package, that should definitely be in the package.
Yeah. So
that's Stone Cold Pillman. That was real. That was on America's Most Wanted.
People called 911. So.
Yeah, they did. That was on America's Most Wanted.
And I want to bring this up after we're done here with this list, but I'm cool on my 5 after rearranging them.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. So debate this. Give us a shout out to see what you think about the list. And the answer to our last trivia question. What was the podcast that we were on that we made our special guest debut? It was the Pro Wrestling Podcast and the In My Opinion segment with good old Pro.
Very good.
Pro. Taekwon misses in the mentions in the comments.
All right, so let's get to
go ahead.
Let's get the final thoughts.
Bringing back all this segments this week.
All right, any final thoughts, fellas?
Yeah, so coming off of the Swerve Hangman discussion there, did any of you see the clips of Alvarez and Meltzer having a meltdown between them two?
No,
not between the two of them. No.
Yeah, they were saying those two need to go to marriage counseling after
Go to therapy like Daniels and Kane.
Like they got into it over the fact that like how are you not gonna have Hangman arrested for arson? And it's like, really? That's like Alvarez was like, how do you come up with a story justification for not having Hangman arrested for arson? And Dave's like, plenty of people have committed heinous acts in pro wrestling over the years of pro wrestling. Like,
we really argue this.
And they
AJ Styles gets arrested, and all of a sudden,
how didn't LA Knight get arrested at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Like what are we talking about here?
We really argue this.
Yeah, it's still real to them, damn it.
We're really arguing this point.
Again, no other form of entertainment gets that type of criticism. That you want to arrest Hangman, like
you literally set a guy on fire on the stage,
right? And didn't have him arrested for attempted murder.
Shocked Shane McMahon, like with a battery.
Vince blew up in a limo, but there was no investigation to see who committed that crime.
Yeah,
because it was Vince McMahon.
Oh my!
So yeah, final thoughts. Speaking of Vince McMahon, Netflix dropped the trailer for the 6-part documentary on McMahon, The Rise and Fall. I don't know if that's the official title, but
just Mr. McMahon.
6-part series. Are they uploading all 6 on the 25th, or are they?
That's what they do.
Okay. Well, no, they don't upload, like they don't always set the binge in full. Like we've seen them.
Oh, I don't think I've ever watched a show on Netflix that wasn't
cut and
yeah,
chop.
they don't.
Yeah.
Because the mole was cut up. It wasn't
Okay.
all at one time.
Mole Cobra Kai, this last season's cut up. Like
yeah, they started
yeah,
that.
season's breaking up, but
Yeah.
they don't go as far as like Apple where they release one episode a week, like with Ted Lasso. But you know, they're chopping stuff up more, I guess, to draw viewership back more often. That one weekend binge.
it's going to be the initial documentary, and then everything else.
Yeah, I saw people questioning, well, who was all interviewed against men for Vince? Because the trailer showed Hogan, Rock, Cena, Triple H. Like it was like, oh, you're just interviewing yes men for McMahon. Like you're not getting into the actual. I don't know. I am curious to see how this turns out because initially this was going to be a puff piece, but apparently WWE is not happy with it. So I guess they turned and, you know, Bill Simmons actually did some journalistic integrity and is going to get into the true shits of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. But we'll see how it comes out. I'm going to watch it. We may do a special pod and break it down. Potentially just
look at that. The marks after Doctor returns.
Yep, there you go, Jay. There you wanted it.
There you go.
I'll be off that show.
He ain't talking bad about WWE or Mr. McMahon.
It's in his contract.
Other quick hitters. Jordan Grace has an open challenge on NXT for the Knockouts title. She had an open challenge this past week where Ariana Grace came out as the liaison between NXT and TNA, which was very fitting since she is Santino Marella's daughter, and announced Carmen Petrovic as the opponent for Grace, which was good, but that the ending kind of, I think, spoiled who's going to show up and challenge Jordan Grace. Because the lights went out and then came back on with Grace laid out and a pillow next to her. So I think we know where that's going. Yeah. But yeah, so it looks like in TNA side, they're building to Grace versus Rosemary. And I think your open challenge on Tuesday will be Wendy Chu against Jordan Grace there. And then Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling again. Another announcement this week.
I brought that up earlier.
Not only are they bringing Mauro Ranallo back to commentate on this show, but his color commentating partner is another Canadian legend who is one of the best on the mic itself. Don Callis will be the color commentator at Mauro Ranallo for Pro Wrestling on the 19th and 20th.
That should be a good booth.
Yeah, that booth I'm expecting high things out of those two together. Like, I know neither one of those are Jason's cup of tea, so he's probably not going to show in for it. But
If there's food, he'll show up.
Yeah, and then they're also offering a package deal. As far as the buy for Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, you get both nights, the 19th and the 20th, for $29.99. If you just buy the single night, it's $19.99 each night, so you save $10. Shit, for $30, I'm gonna buy the bundle.
Yeah,
and tune in for both of those nights. We did get another match announcement. So Alexander and Takeshita is on Saturday the 20th. On Friday the 19th, Takeshita will be wrestling Mike Speedball Bailey. So 2 back-to-back bangers I'm expecting out of Takeshita that potentially could have match of the year implications with those two. If you're looking for sneaky ones outside of the main promotions that are on TV each week.
I think both of them will deliver.
Yeah. Anybody with anything else?
We did mention Saturday night main events coming back in December. Maybe it's just, wonder if it's just one show or is it going to be like something they sprinkle in sporadically.
So
let's see how this one goes. Because like the last time they did it, they just announced, it's coming back. And then the first one was really good. Then it just sucked.
Yeah, I don't think this will like be a mainstay thing. But I think the holiday tour this year, they're not doing a big holiday tour like they've been doing.
Okay.
They're cutting it down. So I'm assuming one of those shows, probably in the Garden or somewhere, like that, will be the taping or the live of the Saturday night event for that.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, because their holiday tour is real brief. Like they're not doing. I don't think they're doing anything before Christmas. It's like that week right after Christmas. So.
And then the past couple of years, they haven't done anything in December pay-per-view wise other than NXT. So let that be the main roster thing for that month.
Yeah.
Build
Listen, Saturday night main event growing up in the 80s was
fantastic.
I think like it was, it was Epic Man, Star Search, the news.
Story driven, boy.
The news and right into Saturday night main event,
That's where we saw the Hulkamania's break up. the Mega Powers broke up on it.
Mega Powers. Hogan getting stretchered out to Earthquake when Hogan died, and they did the rest in peace vignette for Hogan. Yeah, man, Saturday night main event was that thing, and I remember having sleepovers at my grandma's, and it was like I said, it was that Star Search with Epic Man, the news, and then Saturday night's main event, and she let me stay up and watch it and then go to bed afterwards. Like that was it right there, boy. Playing on the living room floor with on the big round tube TV and stand.
Real quick question. How do you feel about Roman not closing out SmackDown? Last SmackDown on Fox.
He opens it up next week on USA. Rumor is it's an all hands on deck show. So
okay, I was just shocked he wasn't on at all. I'm like, that's the guy. That was your guy you wanted.
True.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Cody Rhodes just completely sidestepping Solo last night, giving him all that praise, and then look at him. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you, Jacob Fatu. And then they, just like how they teased, Solo with Roman, they're teasing Jacob with Solo, getting up on the rope, and do I do it? Do I don't do it? Solo looking at him, and Jacob finally, giving in and saying, "I love you. You're my tribal chief." So yeah, we're still in the bottom of the fourth. Going back around.
Every Saturday, it is.
Bottom of the fourth. Speaking of Roman, there really was. You can go out on the internet and find it, probably on YouTube. But Heyman and Roman gave a really good interview. I think it was at the Bloomberg investors meeting or whatever it was this past week. Really good interview, and Roman talked a lot, but hyping up WWE, why they're as hot as they are, etc. But they got into some stuff and Roman talking, and yeah, you could see why Roman's the guy that he is, right? Like, yeah. So good listen there. Want to tune into that.
All right, Donald.
All right, sweet. So thank you everybody for tuning in to our 4th anniversary episode of the Dumb Marks Podcast. That will be episode 204. Find us on all of our social medias at Dumb Marks Pod. Also, go to Pro Wrestling Tees and look at this great merch here. Buy something for everybody. Look at this.
We're still got throwback.
No, you still got it for us. And also give us a like on Spotify. And for our quote this week, if you never listen to anyone, you can't give proper advice. And with that, we give you the best wrestling information in the business. So, domain expansion, unlimited void. If you know, you know. We'll catch you next week.
He had to do it.